This is my 4 acres, and sure, I could go somewhere else, buy more land, but there's a reason why I love this place. First off, this is always going to be home to me. Second, it's from my parents. And then another huge reason why I want to live here is because of a murder. Unfortunately, it's a true story. I'm going to set the camera down, and I'll tell you why a murder makes me want to build a cabin here and stay here. Well guys, this video is going to be very different than anyone I've ever made before. This is a reason why I really want to have a cabin here. Yes, it's going to be for my parents. I have one sister by blood. And then, this is where we start to get into my story. That I have 4 siblings that are not blood related, but we were raised as siblings. And we all have D names. Darcy, Deanne, Danielle, Dana, Darren, Destiny. They lived next door. Our parents would have to be to work at 6 a.m. every morning. All of us kids would get ready, make sure the other one's up. There'd be fighting between all of us, just like real siblings. During holidays like New Year's, the parents were at the bowling alley drinking. We would stay home, bang pots and pans, and then wait for the morning when they'd come home and bring us their party leftovers. But to us, it was amazing. So yes, one of my siblings, Dana, she was murdered when I was 21. She was 18, just turned 18. We were all 2 years apart. And her and I had always said that we were going to live next door to each other. She had an ex-boyfriend. He couldn't get over her. And again, I don't blame him because he would never have done better. I know that, but it's not a reason to kill somebody. And again, I've never talked about this on YouTube, so I don't know if this is going to get kicked off, what words I can and can't say. I'm going to try and be smart about it. But sometimes you just have to say the facts, like she was killed. He killed her and he killed himself. And like Nancy Grace says, she remembers everything from the day that her fiance got murdered. I remember everything that day. I remember what I wore. Because Dana and I, we worked together. I was a caregiver at a retirement home, and she was wait staff. She was supposed to be there on May 24th at 3:30. When she wasn't there at 3:15, I knew it. I just knew. I told my boss I had to go, that Dana was probably no longer with us, and I had to find out. My boss let me go. She met me at my car, and I was pissed at the world because I just knew something wasn't right. I took my keys, and I don't have aim. I threw them, and it would have smacked her right in the face, and she caught them. And as soon as she caught my keys, I called Dana's dad. I said, "Where's Boski?" That was her nickname. We all had nicknames. I'm Peanut. She's Boski. I just said, "Where's Dana?" He's like, "I don't know." He goes, "Her car's here, and her phone's here." I knew it. Because it happened in 2004. So cell phones weren't as popular as they are now, but we still had them. We just couldn't do as many fancy things with them. And so I got in my car, or in the passenger side, because my boss was driving. We pull out of work. I call him back. I said, "Where is she?" I even remember his exact words. "That asshole killed her, and he killed himself." And I lost it. I had no control over my body. I'm wailing, not screaming, crying, like it was a guttural sound that I didn't know my body could make. My limbs are flailing. And later I thank God that I wasn't driving, that my boss demanded that she drive me. And I just knew. And the thing that sucks about this is Dana had done everything right. This happened 10 days after her 18th birthday. She got a restraining order, which I've always thought are just a piece of paper, but still, that's what the cops told her to do. She changed her hair, she changed her schedule, she'd stay the night at different people's houses. But he was determined, and he just did it. And it's like, I watch crime shows, A lot of us do, but I don't know if I watch them for the same reason that most people do. I watch them so I could try and prevent being a victim. If I can't prevent being a victim, then I'm gonna make sure I leave my DNA, like I'll lick windows, I'll leave my DNA behind. And my husband used to think I'd watch murder shows so I could think of a way to off him. And I've never thought about doing that to anybody because I know what it's like losing someone that didn't deserve to die. I would never take it in my hands to take someone's life. It's just not me. But after watching all these murder shows, because for a long time I was mad at him for killing himself. I'm like, you pussy. Like, you're a coward. Like, you can't own up to it. But then after watching all these murder shows, all you need is one juror to mess it all up. And you can't, if that's what the juror believes, that's what they believe. So then if there's a hung jury, families have to relive the worst moment of their life over and over again. And it's like, I was grateful that by him killing himself, we don't have to worry about that. And then also, parole. That's another biatch. Because they could have life, but they could still have parole. But then every time they come up for parole, you have to go in front of the parole board and plead your case of why they shouldn't be out on the streets again. So as much as I didn't like him for being a coward, I'm glad he did it so that I won't be drugged through all that. And Dana, you could look her up on Google if you want. Her name was Dana Furry. And one thing that I would like to share, and hopefully this might help somebody, because one of my sisters now that's still around, she's never sober. Me, on the other hand, I never want to drink. But I was 21 when this happened to Dana, and I live not far from Canada where the drinking age is 19. So I drank plenty between 19 and 21. But now, maybe 2 beers a year, and that's if it's like 90 degrees outside. But I could be like my other sister and just be numb, not want to feel life. And Dana's birthday is May 14th, and she was murdered on May 24th. And even though this happened, this will be 21 years, those 10 days are hard. And it was about the 10th anniversary of her being gone. And I just thought, I'm like, if Dana's looking down right now, she'd be so pissed. Because she was always trying to make other people happy. And like, she would be pissed. So that's when I took it upon myself. Because if I see her again someday, she would, first of all, she'd kick my ass if I told her I was numb. She'd be like, you had a life and all you did was drugs or drink? Like, that'd be the biggest, like our sister. If she's reunited with her someday, she'll be like, what'd you do? Oh, I drank. Like, we have a life. We don't know how, like, long it is, how short it is. And it's like, value the life that you have. Because some people, they had no say in it. They tried and they're not here. But I choose to be sober, because if I see Dana again someday, and I hope I do, I want to tell her the things that I did after she was gone. I was never a runner. I was 180 pounds because what I did, and I'm only 5'1.5", 5'2" when I first wake up. I was pissed at the universe. I couldn't be mad at somebody else because the guy I was mad at took his own life. So yeah, I would eat. Because I could still drive and do things if you eat. But our town started a 5K in her memory. And I'm like, well shit, I gotta get off my ass and do this. So I did the 5K. I got second in females. Our other sister got first, which she did track and cross country all middle school, high school. But then I signed up for a half marathon in Honolulu. I'm from Washington, where we like it in the 60s, 70s. 70s is hot for us. But I chose the half marathon in Honolulu. It was the Diva Marathon, because I got to choose the name of my runner's bib. And so I put Boski on it. That was her nickname. So when I crossed the finish line, she was with me. And so if I see her again someday, and I pray that I do, I can tell her what I did, that I wasn't numb, I wasn't sad, that I did something. And that I'm trying to do something positive in her memory and name, so that, yes, people remember people as being murdered. It's inevitable. If that's how they go, it just sucks. But we could also do things to paint a better name. And it's like, then when I was at the Diva Marathon, people were like, oh, is that you? I'm like, no, it's my sister. She was murdered, and she's going to finish the race with me. And I'd tell you she did, because there's no way that I could have, like at 8 o'clock in the morning, it was already 87 degrees. That's extremely hot when you're born and raised in Washington State. But it's just something that I did, and so that I can tell her. And again, those May 14th through the 24th, every year I do something different. One year I collected soccer balls, and then I'd go to the seasonal workers and I'd give them to the kids, so when their parents would up and move to another state or another location, the kids would have something to take with them. And then another year we had birthday parties with bonfires. I'd take her friends flowers. So it's like I put that energy into something positive, because if I don't, then he's gonna be a winner over me too. If I become an alcoholic, he succeeded at ruining my life also. I don't like the guy. I will not say his name because he doesn't deserve it. But again, if you Google my sister, Dana, D-A-Y-N-A, Furry, F-U-R-E, you'll see what happened. And she was just an amazing human. She had a ride to Gonzaga for pre-law. And she was going to go, and she was going to live next door and be my lawyer. And I was going to live next door to her and be her massage therapist. But all it took was a selfish, jealous boyfriend to ruin that. And so by me eventually building a cabin here, I'm keeping my word with my sister, and we're still going to live next door. So it might sound kind of corny, but again, I choose to be optimistic, because otherwise, why be sad and pissed? Like, make something good of it. You don't think you can, but if you don't try, you'll never know. Like, I call her best friend. If you see my little videos of my shorts with the Maine Coon, that was her best friend that lives a mile down the road from me. We never planned that. But I'll call her husband and say, okay, Dana's day is in 2 days, and he'll get her flowers. And it's like, her knowing that he thought of her, there's a smile. So when she looks down, people are smiling, because she'd be so pissed to know that we're crying over her. And so if you've lost a loved one, whether you had a warning, whether it was cancer, something terminal, where you at least have the time to say goodbye, or like my situation where you don't, because you just don't, just try and make something good of it, so that if someday we do get to see them again, tell them that you lived your life. Your life wasn't a waste. And it's like, I just feel bad for my other sister that's just wasting away. It's like, a lot of us don't appreciate just waking up until we don't wake up. But I think I've gone on too long, and I hope YouTube doesn't kick me off, because I didn't say details about how she was killed. It wasn't good. I was hoping it would have been quick. But me and all my sisters, we all have tramp stamps. Not because it's the thing to do, or because everybody loves them, hates them, because she got stabbed in the back 3 times. That was never in the paper. It's probably not on Google. Only family knows that she was stabbed first before he shot her. And so she suffered. And so all of our first tattoos were on our low back, so that we could have pain like she did. But again, if you guys watch this, thank you. It's totally out of left field compared to what I normally do. But I was just thinking about her, and because that's a big deal, why I don't want to paralyze myself while I'm cutting down a tree, or just hurt, because I want to enjoy this and keep my word to my little sister who's not here anymore, so that hopefully I do see her someday and I can tell her, hey, I did this, I did this. Sometimes her brother walks down the road and I yell at him. He's like as old as my mom and her mom. Our dads were like 12, 14 years older than our moms. They liked them young. And they're all still, no, my parents are still married, but hers aren't. But no, his 2 kids from his first marriage. We're tight with them, but they're not like, don't call my brother. But yeah, thanks again, guys. And if you've gone through this, where you've lost a loved one, and it just wasn't fair, tell me what helps you, because I don't know it all, and I'm going to run out of ideas. But I just try to make others smile, so that when she looks down on the day that we all dread, that she smiles and she's not thinking, I don't want them to cry, and here I'm making them cry. Because fortunately life isn't fair. But thanks again, guys. I appreciate you. Hopefully I didn't ramble on too long about nothing. It's just a part of me and why these 4 acres mean to me. Thank you.